Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we have our very own mortgage specialist here with us to answer some of the questions that we received from the previous video of how to buy your home in New Jersey. We have the mortgage specialist here. Not only is he a great mortgage specialist, he's a great person, a dear friend of mine who I trust and believe that he's going to do the right thing for you guys. So I came here so he could answer all the questions that we received, and I want you to introduce yourself, welcome to the channel, and help our clients with the questions that they have.
Thank you for having me, Priscy. Thank you. I really appreciate and admire all the work you do for the community and for all the people. And you truly are one of a kind of an agent and a father and a husband.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely. I started in the mortgage business when I was 18. My name is Manuel Gonzalez.
The Mortgage Dad on Instagram.
The Mortgage Dad on Instagram. I created the Mortgage Dad because I really do find that in life, anything we do for a living, we have to do it because we love it. And then if we have other things that we love, we have to create time and space and flexibility for that as well. So being a dad was very important to me, so I am the Mortgage Dad. I've been doing this now for 23 years. I've seen the business change quite a bit. I am still a student to the process of the home buying, constantly learning new ways of being more intuitive and creating an easier process for the consumer. So I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to answer any questions you have that people ask you. And if there's anything else that comes up in mind as well, we're going to share it with your audience.
Thank you. And thank you for coming. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule and your family, which is really dear to you. So thank you. We appreciate it. So any questions you have, he's the man. Follow him on Instagram, Facebook. We're going to put all the links below, and feel free to ask him anything you can. First, let's start with a real basic question for people that don't know, what is a mortgage?
Yeah.
And what's included in a mortgage payment?
So I remember the first time that my kids had Take Your Dad to School Day, and I had to explain to 4-year-olds what it was that a mortgage is. So you have 3 options when you're going to purchase a home. You know, you either have the cash to buy it, or you go to a bank where you have your checking, your savings account, and you ask them for a loan. Or the third one is you ask the seller to give you a mortgage, right? So that they would give you the loan and you pay them over a certain amount of time. The definition of a mortgage is basically a promissory to pay a loan back within a certain amount of time. The majority of the mortgages are broken down into 30 years so that they make the payment as comfortable as possible. That's basically what a mortgage is borrowing money to purchase a home.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very basic explanation.
Yeah.
Even I got it. And what's included in a mortgage payment?
Mortgage payment includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And when you don't put down 20%, there's another insurance called mortgage insurance. It's also known as PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. There's 2 different kinds, and we'll go into that as well. But basically, a mortgage payment is broken down into principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance if you didn't put down 20%.
I get that a lot too. What will be now that we're in that subject, we'll go to everything. What are the benefits of the down payments? I get that asked a lot. Like, should I put 3.5? Should I put 10%, 20%? I know if they put 20%, it eliminates the PMI, correct?
Right.
And what will be another benefit, or let's say, to make a big down payment? What will be?
There are certain programs where you don't have to put any money down. You can do 100% financing. So the state will provide you with grants. And what happens is that the majority of the down payments that people want to put down is what they have available to put down in conjunction with what's in the bank to put down for closing costs, because you have closing costs as well.
Yeah, too, yeah, cool.
The difference in down payment is really just going to reflect in your payment. So if you're putting less money down, your payment's going to be higher. If you're putting more down, your payment's going to be lower. So it's really what they can afford. But the minimum down payment in the state of New Jersey for most programs is 3%.
Oh, that's good. Because I get that asked a lot too. They're like, oh, do I need 20,000 or 40,000? So we'll break down the down payment and the closing costs too. So another question I get asked a lot too is, so what are the type of mortgages out there for people that are looking to buy?
So there's typically 4 types of mortgage programs that you can participate in. The first one, which is the traditional one, is conventional. That is where you can put down a minimum of 3%. The next one, which is actually very popular, is FHA. That is where you put down 3.5%, and it's a government program. The next one is USDA. That one is specifically for homes that are in agriculture, like farmland. You can, the government will provide you financing for that. And then the last one is VA. VA is for veterans. It stands for Veterans Administration. That program is governed by them and insured by them, and it allows you to put no money down if you're a veteran in the United States. It's actually an excellent loan. So those are the four major types. There's jumbo loans and non-conforming loans as well. But for the typical first-time home buyer or subsequential buyer, someone who's going to buy a second time around, it's usually going to be one of those four that I first mentioned.
Awesome, cool. With that question too, I was going to ask you, I get that a lot too, as a FHA or first-time home buyer, they're always asking, are there any programs, any grants, any government like assistance that they give for first-time homeowners?
Yeah.
So
there's so for first-time homeowners can actually go to the state, and the state has two programs. One is called Smart Start.
Okay.
And then there's another program that is called Officer or Teachers Next Door. So if you're a teacher, for example, you can actually obtain financing through the state for that program. If you don't have a specific credit score for that program, or your income is too high, then obviously that program won't work, but we would find that out once we speak with the person and discuss the options at that point. But to answer your question, the majority of the programs that people are going to get assistance from are typically either specific programs through a bank or state related.
Oh, cool. But there are some programs, there are some grants and stuff like that. Smart Start.
Smart Start, yeah.
Okay, cool.
They give you up to $10,000 in a grant, and you can use it, and it's an interest-free loan as long as you stay in the home for 3 years. You don't have to pay it back.
That's awesome, yeah.
So it's an excellent program.
That's why he's the mortgage specialist. See, I didn't even know that, so it's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. And now you touched on the credit. Like, what would be the minimum credit score for like an FHA or a conventional or VA? I don't know if there's credit thresholds, but
so believe it or not, FHA has no minimum credit score.
No.
The banks are the ones that put the overlays. I work with 125 different banks. About 2 or 3 of them will go into a certain program that will allow lower credit scores. But typically what I'll try to do at that point is see what it is that's affecting the score and see how we can raise it, just so that we can get better interest rates.
Oh, okay.
But there's no minimum FICO score for FHA. What most lenders do accept though is 600.
Oh, okay.
So that's where they feel like at 600 there's positive outcome, because there's something that happens when the FICO score goes below 600, and it's either typically one of two things. Studies show.
Yeah.
The first thing is that the person feels, oh, I messed up my credit, so I'm not gonna use my credit. I can't go to a bank because they're not gonna give me a credit card, so I'm just not gonna use my credit. And then it takes 7 years for those things to come off the credit. So for 7 years, that FICO score stays down there. What we do is we'll go in and we'll look at the report and see what it is that's affecting the score, and see how we can put a plan in place to raise the score. So then they can become home buyers in less than a year.
That's awesome, because I get that a lot too, and they're always looking for a number, but it's good to know that they don't have a number. So the answer is call Manuel, okay? When you have any question with the mortgages, because there's really no set number, and he could either guide you through the process or let you know what you need to do next. Another common question that I get asked all the time is, how much money is needed to put down? I know you talked about the 3%, but also what's included in, like, let's say, how much is the closing cost? How much, like in a nutshell of an amount do they need?
So I always tell people that, so you need your minimum of 3%, right? So if someone tells me I have 10% to put down, I tell them, rule of thumb, you need about 2% more for closing costs and escrow.
Oh, okay.
Your closing costs consist of your attorney fees, your title insurance, your appraisal, a recording fee to record the loan under your name with the county clerk's office. Then there's prepaid interest. The bank is going to charge a little bit of interest at the closing because they're wiring all the money right there. So they charge you the rest of that month in interest. And then there's escrow, your taxes and insurance. The bank is going to start an escrow account to pay your taxes every quarter and pay your insurance once a year to whoever you chose, whatever insurance carrier.
That's awesome, bro. Thanks for that explanation. Because they always ask me, and I looked at the closing docs, but it's a lot of lines.
It always varies.
Yeah, and so I don't remember. So the fact you explained that, that's awesome, bro.
And I always tell clients, like, you're going to get a closing loan estimate now. It's going to have a lot of numbers on there. Don't even bother looking at it. Just call me. Let's go over it line by line so that I can explain to you what the bank fees are, what the title costs are, what the attorney fee is. And all of that stuff is very preliminary up front, right? Because the attorney hasn't sent us invoices. So it's really preliminary, but 2% is a good rule of thumb. So if you're buying a home for $300,000 and you got 3% to put down, that's $9,000, and 2% is $6,000. So you need $15,000 to buy the house.
Man, bro. I almost cursed, sorry. I got excited.
Made that a little too easy.
And now with all the years of you have of experience, what would be your, let's say, your best advice or your top 10 list to a new home buyer? Why would you tell them, do this, do that, do that? What are your
Well, none of us are born with perfect credit and how to use our money and what to do. We try to figure it out. Our parents do their best to give us their best advice. But at the end of the day, it's all trial and error. I had the opportunity to start in this business when I was 18. So I've seen a lot of people's mistakes, a lot of people's decisions, and then I chose my own. My first suggestion to anyone if they're looking to purchase a home is know what your FICO score is.
Okay.
You can go on Credit Karma, my free FICO score, my FICO, you can go on a bunch of different ones. You can just call me and I'll run your credit and send it to you for free. But really just understand what your FICO score is and get educated on what the credit is about so that you're aware. And then the next piece of information that I would say is your income, your job. If you're in the same line of business for 2 years, you're ready to buy. You probably didn't know this, but you're ready. You have the credit score, you know what your credit is, and you have the income, you're ready to buy. Or maybe you just graduated from college and you just got your first job in the field you studied. Well, you have 4 years of experience in a trade. So you have the experience, you're also ready to buy.
Oh man, I had no idea. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
So even in your first year working, just because you had years of college,
Yes.
that gives you the, oh man.
Absolutely, yeah, it's considered a trade. There's teachers that were studying to be a teacher, and they just got their job, and their first job is starting at a smaller amount, but it's going to grow to a certain amount. Well, we can use certain things into consideration, the projection of what their income is going to be, and they can qualify for a little bit more because it's going to increase the second year, because they have that first year of initiation.
That's
and then
awesome.
there's about 10 steps. We created that in our checklist. Anyone who clicks on the link below, they can enter some minimal information. It's not for us to contact you, it's just for us to have track of who it is that's reaching out to us and getting the information. And we'll provide you with our 10 best steps to prepare to purchase a home. And
free.
they're really broken down, all free.
Oh man, thank you. Good to know.
As they say, free 99.
On a personal level, because
Yeah.
we want to connect. You're a great human being, man. So I want the world to see how great of a person you are. But let's say if you had a chance to go back to your younger self when you're 18, right? What would you give yourself as an advice? Or to a new person coming into the business that wants to be like Manuel when they grow up? They're like, I want to be just like Manuel. What would be your advice, or how would you tell them this would have experience? And
So I would say start by mastering what it is that your craft is. Every single day work on improving. Your competition is the person in the mirror. So when you wake up in the morning and you look in that mirror, which we all do, nobody leaves the house without at least combing their hair. Well,
I got to do my hair.
but you do look in the mirror, right? You brush your teeth or you do something. You just check 1 second. That's the person you're competing against. And just work on improving that person every single day. That person will never let you down. I've been through many different parts of this process, and I'm constantly learning. I have so much more to learn. But I passionately love it. I feel that you and I are in the most amazing industry there is. We provide people with the largest financing possibility they have in their life. We educate them, and then at the end of the day, we're there to celebrate when they purchase their new home.
And hopefully get invited to the barbecue. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get invited to the barbecue too after the house.
Yeah, I love barbecues. I know you can't tell because I'm so skinny, but I love the barbecues. But yeah, I would definitely tell the young person of me, just keep trying hard and working hard, and anything that gets in your way is just part of the journey. That's what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate everything you do.
My pleasure.
Everything you do for the community, for all the clients. Thank you for taking your time to come here too. And you gotta continue to bless you, brother.
Feel free to share, feel free to like and comment and engage us in any questions you may have. We're here to assist you. My name is Manuel Gonzalez.
And this is Marichal. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching.